In this class, we'll be adding plates to this structure. We'll add concrete slabs to this structure. In our last class, we modeled all these curved beams facing different directions. So if you have missed the class, I'll say you check my channel, check my video on the channel where I showed how to do these curved beams with Staad.Pro. It's a very interesting one and educative. So in today's class, we'll be adding plates. Okay, to do that, you make sure you are on geometry. Yes, then you click on add plate. If you click on add plate, you have an option to add the triangular plate. Yeah, so a square plate. So I'll click on that. Then at this my second floor, the first floor level is where I need to add plate. So let me do something that will make the work easier for me. I'll select escape. I will select all the beams here at this level. Sorry, all the beams at this level. Then I will click selected object so that I will restrict my view to what I need to see. Then I'll go back to isometrics. Then this is the level where I want to add my plates. So I'll go back to geometry, pick my plate. So I'll go clockwise direction. That's number one. That's how we add all the plates. Yes, so add all the plates. So add all the plates one after another. Okay, let me assume we have the staircase here, so I will not cover it with a plate. Yeah. Again, whether you add a plate to your structure or not, once you go to RCDC, it designs your slab for you. So to add plate is actually not necessary if you don't want to, but if you want to add plate, for those that like seeing everything in three-dimensional view, add your plate. It makes your model more beautiful and more understandable and simple. But when you don't add plate, people might be wondering whether the whole structure does not have a flaw. But some persons don't add plates to their structure; they will just add the slab load to the beams. Yeah, because when you add a plate, you actually need to mesh it. If you don't mesh a plate, that plate will definitely not transfer the load to the beams. Of course, the correct convention is the load on the slab will be transferred to the beams, then the beam will transfer the load to the columns. But when you don't mesh your plates, the slab will simply transfer the load directly to the columns. I will explain better when I will be showing you how to mesh a plate to give you a clearer view. So I want to make sure I've not omitted any panel. So let me go to select. I will activate plate cursor. So okay, places where I have plates will be highlighted. So I don't have plates here because I said let's assume we have our staircase there. So maybe we have staircase to access this place. Yeah. Then okay. So there's no plate here. I will add plate there. Press escape. Then I'll go back to geometry, add plate for this one. That's good. So let's go to okay, 3-dimension view. When we come here, you see the plate is already there. Yeah, the plate is there already, but we have not given it thickness. We have not it has not been assigned property. You need to assign a property to it. So this is, even if you want to apply a metal sheet or a plate, this is how to do that. So but when you now assign a property to it, then that's when the software now knows that it is steel or concrete. So as it is now, it can represent a concrete, it can represent a steel. So until we go to properties and specify it is concrete, that is when the software will now know that okay, this one is a concrete slab. Yeah, so now we need to now assign a thickness to it. And if you look at this model, you see that the slab is at the center of the beam. Yes, that will now necessitate our next class, which is to do beam offset. We do offset in AutoCAD, so we can as well do offset in Staad.Pro. So in our next class, I will show you how to do offset in Staad.Pro. So now, for now, let us just assign thickness to this slab. So you simply go to properties, yeah, and we go to um, thickness. Yeah, this is thickness for slab. So we have you have to specify, make sure it's concrete here. Yes, we of course you have aluminium, you have steel, like I told you. So it's from here you now specify what your plate is. Is it a concrete plate? Is it a steel plate? Yeah, so in this case we are doing a concrete plate. So now you need to now specify the thickness. So I will use 150 mm, which is 0.15 meters. So now of course you can see node 1, this my node 1 is that thickness, node 2 is that thickness. So in case if your slab tapers at any end, maybe here is 150, here is 150, and that place is 100. So you can use these two, you can edit this one, to make it what it is actually. That place will now taper. It means that place is the thickness. This node 4 and 3 is smaller, is 100, while this other side is 150. So it tapers towards that side going down. So but in this my own case, it is the same thickness. Just doing the demonstration for you to have a better understanding in case we have such thing in the future to design. So now I'll click on add, as simple as that. Then I'll select the plate or the plate. I'll just click on activate plate cursor. Is either I highlight like this or I press Ctrl A. Ctrl A will highlight all the plate because the plate cursor is active. So I will now click on assign to, make sure this is highlighted, assign to selected plates. Yes, I will now click on assign. That will give us the thickness of our plate. So we go back to view. Yes, so you can see the thickness has appeared, but you will not notice it until you do the beam offset, so that this beam is supposed to flush with the slab. Of course, that's the normal thing. Our beams are not supposed to project beyond the slab. So if you want to do the right thing, you have to now do offset, beam offset. We offset the beam down, to flush with the slab, so that our slab will be free of that beam. The beam is supposed to have a drop down, not to project upwards. So this is just simply how to add plates to your structure. So in our next class, we'll be doing offset of beam members. Just do that, offset of beam members, then maybe meshing of plates. We have to mesh our plates. So let's just end here for today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I urge you to do that immediately. There are a lot of things to learn in this channel, and I'm actually ready for you guys. I'll keep on uploading things that are very very much educative. to subscribe, share my content with your friends, your colleagues, your cousins who are in aspiring to be civil engineers. The earlier they start, the better. Thank you as you do that. See you next time.